flesh was everywhere. The one on the outside was wrinkled and smooth, black, yellow, very waxy like a candle. Flesh was everywhere. The one on the outside was wrinkled and smooth, blue, black, yellow, white, waxy like a candle. Reddish in the places where you touch and apply pressure. Hot with droplets of sweat, soaked, unable to feel anything, even if you poke it with a knife. Sensitive to the slightest breeze. And the one inside too, the moist underside of a man, not red, as somehow seems at first, not even pink, gray, like anything looks in the dark. The flesh has become a black, greedy land, and a jungle that grows on it. For too long, we have been animals. It's time to become the forest. Okay. A 40-year-old woman was pacing the sidewalk, her face hidden by a black sack. Two masked men were holding her gently by the elbows, pointing the way to the hearse. Another victory of death over life. A sad but dignified spectacle. It's a good thing there is a temple of tender death nowadays. The city takes care of us, protects us from all the pain and old age. I shuddered, remembering today's dream. I wondered how long my frail body would last. How much would I be able to do for the city? The car started toward the temple of the tender death. I glanced at it, then crossed the road and ducked into one of the confessionals. I should have talked to Newberg a long time ago. I had put it off for too long. I hadn't been in the confessor's booth since the day of the final bill, since I was 16. The booth hadn't changed a bit since then. It just looked older now. Newberg, the inner troubleshooter, sent to us by the machines of loving grace, the one who listens, mourns, and fixes errors. They remove abnormal particles from the mind, which might seem to be very personal and important thoughts at first, but in fact they can lead a person into utter disrepair. And that seems to be exactly what I need right now. I inserted my punch card into the reader. Greetings, Joshua. You haven't visited me in a long time. I've been very busy since the final bill and the moving. At your age, it's forgivable. Entering adulthood is a time of trials and tribulations. What brought you here? Reveal the soul. I've been having these strange dreams lately, Mr. Newberg. Perhaps I just can't get used to my new bed. And what are your dreams about? I dream of the flesh. It speaks to me. These are the usual temptations to the formless, which are sent from the bowels of the earth by the overthrown Lilies. They come to everyone occasionally. It's no big deal. I have other dreams too. People unattended by the machines of living grace. In my dreams, these people are outside, above the underground. They try reaching us, wait for us to come out. Logical dreams are a sign of growing up. Once you're mature enough, it will stop. Does everybody have those kind of dreams? Some dreams of another. Another? Eyes peering out from the underworld for brittle souls, voices that whisper the unthinkable. Of course, those are not humans. Those are echoes of the pure purple death. Don't forget, only it exists outside the city. Yes, I remember. It wasn't satisfied with the 13 billion miserable souls that were once dissolved outside. Now it's coming through the dome of the city into our heads. The only difference between living and the doom is a cold-blooded, enduring faith. It will help you to distinguish the trial sent by the machines of loving grace from the temptation of David, the overthrown. Only Shepcon can call you upwards, beyond the city. Do you believe? I do. What else do you dream about? I had a dream of the machines of loving grace in the flesh, in the form of a huge terminal like the ones in the Infinite Library. I inserted the punch card into the reader, but the authorization failed. Instead of a name and an ID, there were lots of numbers and letters. They intertwined and broke into pixels until they merged into a glaring flicker. After that, I heard a voice. Couldn't see a face, but I recognized the voice. It was Jackie, my oldest. He was always playing with us, teaching us gymnastics, reading to us at night, even if he came in from his shift tired. He said, in fact, the machines broke down a long time ago. Love is gone, and grace has dried up. A typical rebellious dream of a teenager, immediately described in the reference files. Will I be forgiven for this malfunction, Mr. Newberg? Spell the Trinity, Joshua. Usual question and an easy, almost automatic answer. But now, for some reason, I couldn't make myself say it. As if the silly dream had shaken my thoughts into a muddy foam. My faith is in the Trinity, continue. We'll save just to make sure how much a little bit to make the wrong decision. I guess serotonin. Serotonin gives us humility and strength to work for the good of society every day. This deficiency leads to despondency, but the surplus is a source of dangerous fantasies and heritable thoughts. Dopamine is sacred grace, the foundation of faith, the reward, the shadow of heavenly bliss, a foretaste of the eternal blue sky. But our path is strewn with surrogates of grace, planted by the abominable David. Those who abuse them lose the keys to paradise by peeling off the body of the collective. Adrenaline. Okay, so I guess it's gonna describe all of them. Adrenaline. Adrenaline gives us courage and strength for resolute labor exploits. It makes our heart burn, but its excess is just as dangerous because it leads to destructive anger and insubordination. We've all known the Trinity since we were kids, even if you're a little confused now. But do you know why those three are so important? These are the three most important neurotransmitters, the balance of which binds the body of the collective together. You're absolutely right. Well done. Thank you, Mr. Newberg. Now tell me, why is it so important to open your souls to the machines of loving grace? The machines, they not only nourish, protect, and shelter us, but also help us maintain the triune balance in our souls, whatever that means. From the imbalance of the three elements arise all sins. That is why they are all forgiven if you reopen your soul to the machines. Everything can be forgiven except mortal sin against the body. Malicious neglect of health and bodily integrity is a death sentence for the soul, a sure path to the depths of hell. Thou shalt not disfigure the body, but dost thou discreet the soul. But our cuts and bruises, things that leave no trace in the morning, are also destructive to the soul? Don't worry, those flows are to be healed by the machines of loving grace, even if you inflict them yourself. How? Don't be surprised, I know many things. Triggers a symptom of growing up, a way to numb the thirst for another's touch, the pain of incompleteness, until you find your place in the body of the collective. Finding and learning of your function is not easy. It seems hard to enter a new cluster. Some scratch their hands, others electrocute themselves, burn their skin with rabid allergy cigarettes, drown their longings in beer and even in soma. It is sinful to extract endorphins from your own flesh, bypassing the sacred balance of the Trinity, but in time you will find your place, and the need to numb the pain of the soul with the pain of the body will disappear. Thank you, Mr. Newberg. I'm glad you picked what was broken in me. I didn't fix anything because there's nothing wrong with you. You just need more love. Go with a light heart, Joshua. I feel like I learned a lot, but at the same time I still have questions. So I guess we'll just keep going and hopefully find answers to those questions. I walk down Minister Osmond's Broad Street, stopping occasionally at the oxidizers. Silent, inconspicuous devices kept injecting jets of fresh air into the cavities of the city from the gray flesh of the walls. I wanted to feel the touch of this invisible flow. I unbuttoned my sleeve and held out my bare hand. Immediately gave me goosebumps. The breeze was mesmerizing. People neglect the sense of touch too much. They're too mesmerized by the sounds of the street, the green lights of the luminal forest, the fake, but therefore no less appealing, landscapes and light boxes. The day was showing the sun. The biopixel screens are constantly updated with the images from the past world, the world before the purple death, when out there, it still existed. They say they were shown to keep the circadian rhythms going, but I think the reason is for us to remember what we have lost forever, what remains only in the archives of the infinite library. I stopped under a central light box with a rectangle of deep blue and a pale yellow in the center. Blue sky. Once our ancestors lived without a dome over their heads, now the light shines through 2 layers of glass. Between them splashes a lake teeming with plankton and algae. Our sky is green and composed of hexagons. In the distance there was a rumbling sound. An official train whizzed by under the dome. The clerks were returning from lunch. Felt envy deep inside. In the lowliest of public servants received a pass for the monorail that connected to the pillars of ministries to the elite quarters for bureaucrats. And for everyone else, workers, engineers, and temporarily unemployed, or like me, waiting to be assigned, you had to move around on foot or in cramped, bumpy omnibuses. I wish someone would touch me. Anyone. Please. The employee right there who gave me a disapproving look on their way home from lunch, or those first or second time billboys, the ones that are still drafts of future human beings. They pointed their fingers at me and laughed. I made a face at them and made the laughter only get louder. At that moment, a red-headed girl in a tight beige jumpsuit walked by. I felt my cheeks burn with shame. The girl wrinkled her nose and smiled. They involuntarily smiled back, but she already looked away and moved on. The gym bag beat rhythm, sharply against her thigh as she moved away from me. I wonder if she can feel my gaze on her back. If I were braver, I'd probably tell her to talk to her if only I had some courage. But I'm always late and smile when no one is looking at me anymore. I make up a good joke only when I'm already home from the party and I'm touching someone only in my fantasies. Okay. Someone's waiting for me at home. Bridget works shift. Should have already been over by now. If I'm right, my foster sister is now sitting on the roof of the house drinking beer. Of course, she could have already been chased away by the other tenants. Then every person gets neighbors who call clanker for simple alcoholic gatherings. I don't know how Bridget can deal with it. Pull it down. I stumped on the spot, and headed toward the house at the back of the northwest sector. Bridget was indeed on the roof. She was sitting in a filigree bioplastic chair. There was a vacant one next to it. Oh, okay. Bridget looks nice. Brigitte? Hey, what's up? I was just thinking about you. Hello. I was actually thinking of drinking alone today, but come on, join me. Not that you're here. She lightly kicked a nearby chair with the toe of her shoe. Someone doesn't seem to be in a good mood today. Rough day. You could say that. I'm just tired of people a little bit. Wow, same Brig. Sector and patroness of all the real breadth of the cluster. Tired of people? Oh, be quiet. You want a beer? I stared at the offered beer of crack eye. The clear plastic had a thick greenish liquid in it. Hey, why do you think this beer is called Kraken's Cry? Well, probably because after 3 or 4 bottles you start screaming like a kraken. Right, do the neighbors complain a lot? Do you want to drink or not? Sure. Tilly turned down the offer of free seaweed beer. My lounge so tight at the only moment. Thanks. Salty bitter taste, it's funny. There's no sea here. Never has been. There is seaweed and seawater. We're silent for a while. Are you still hanging around unoccupied? Is that obvious? Yes, I wasn't unemployed. Well, I wasn't employed yet. That's really strange. I thought you were involved in something serious here. Or did you just glue archive files together and pass them off as your own work, huh? No, I wrote every bit myself. Well, you're lost. If you did otherwise, it would be much easier now. You'd be already working as a janitor in one of the towers now. Then I would tell my friends, I have a brother in the ministry. Come on. But really, all professions are important. Senior manager of upstairs cleanliness, Joshua. Joshua who, by the way? What did you get? Lottery, you mean Kaviani? I spelled the adult name out loud and shivered. It still sounded like something alien. See, everyone in my cluster will always be Jaws. Just as they're to me, Brig, Nete, Jackie, Ninta, Noriko. Doesn't matter what their names are now. Second names are only for bosses, colleagues, police. You hear your adult name, get ready for trouble. Joshua Kaviani, the one who impressed everyone with his statistic project so much that he earned the accolation. Oh yeah, this was a real research. That's what all the smart guys say. You take advantage of the fact that the rest of us don't understand anything. She opened the second bottle as she immersed herself in her thoughts. Something seemed to be eating at her. An unfamiliar sight. Big sister, always so strong and trustworthy, was now nervous. I need to say something. I want her rather to talk than drink. Then fell into a confession by the way. Did you fix your soul then? Yes, I did. Tell the truth. I have strange dreams of the living flesh that speaks to me. A mass of muscles and tendons and bones and eyes. Funny coincidence. What do you mean? It's okay, never mind. Are you sure it's okay? Do you really want to know? Or are you just being polite as usual? I'm really curious and worried about you. Look at you. Just like a real caring brother. I worry every day when you go off to the goddamn superior or department building into your goddamn construction print work. I'm scared every day of being invited to the Temple of Tender Death where there will lie a printed mannequin exactly like you because they couldn't even find your body under the rubble after the accident. How could I say that to my own sister? The only thing I will get in return is a laugh and a weighty, albeit joking, punch to the shoulder, the usual one. Just feel it already. Well, we materialized a batch of beams. Travel us into the dome. Today we had to fill our quota as much as possible. So we're really materializing it to the fullest extent. And then our extruder got clogged. Bert was yelling, freaking out. When we stopped and took a look, unscrewed the hose, it was clogged. I picked that and squeezed it out. An eye was looking at me. What eye? The one that had a blue iris. It looked like a human one. Well, a little crap. An accident? Someone got stuck in it. The extruder of yours? It can't be. Obviously, it's just someone's stupid joke. And there was not a single bastard laugh when I squeezed that eye out of the hose. Doesn't matter. Find out who did it anyway. Those assholes. Fucking stiff sense of humor is lacking, it seems. Where did they even get that eye? When I find out who it is, he'll be in trouble. I just hope things will be different at the new place. New place? I'm sick of sitting in polymer room. My nose can't smell anything anymore. We have a new regenerating compound. On the dome will be sealed once and for all. We won't have to renew it every year. I asked to be an inspector to supervise commissioning for a month or two. So there won't be any more rains. What kind of rains? Salty and smelly of algae? Oh yes, there are no others. Already pretty drunk, she spilled some beer on the roof. This just drops her instantly absorbed into the porous osteoplastic. You should go stick a capacitor too. Here's my capacitor in this bottle. Second one, by the way. I didn't give you anything for the final bill, did I? How lucky that you came in. She took another bottle out of her bag. Saw there was stably black resin slowly rolling, reluctantly pushed against the walls. as if sometimes forgetting how to be a liquid. Greg, this is Soma. So what, will you spank me now, or will you summon the clankers? Come on, take it. It looks like a ferromagnetic liquid. How can you even drink it? Well, we're not robots to drink ferromagnetics. Just a colloidal solution. Suspension of something. For example, colonies of microorganisms. This stuff that even looks alive. Here is also a colony of microorganisms. The alcohol ferment wanderers wandering around. Still, it's dangerous. It's high time you grew up, Jaws. All adults have tried it, and if they haven't tried, then they're complete idiots. Fluoride synthesized Soma makes powerful contribution to our society. It's not a level higher than those of all the biopolymers. Biopolymers are the gifts of machines. Biopolymers by itself, yes, but we are the ones who calculated their formula, one of our kind. Perhaps the machine specifically made it possible to calculate them, I don't know. I'm never good at all these theological tricks. Anymore, and you'll tell me that creation of Soma is also approved by machines. You know, it seems pretty possible. Food, gossip, nothing just happens under this damn dome, you know? Hey, you two, will you shut up already? I'm sick of all this mumbling. I'm gonna call the police now. Okay, right. I'm not in the mood for that today. Okay, we're out of here. They could have managed to get her to the apartment without issue. Fletcher's voice. The neighbors did not dare to materialize. Alright, and this seems a good time. Any to... Hey, did I say that many times? I don't think I did. Huh. Okay. Alright. Main menu. Okay. So, the name of this visual novel sort of thing called let me pull it up. Athanasy. Hopefully I got that right, but this is it's a demo. So that's all I know at the moment. Let me see. So trying to pull up the page. But yeah, this is a demo. So I think it's going to be fully released. I believe it was the 4th of April. Is when it's going to be fully released. It is a 2D visual novel, post-apocalyptic, kind of casual sort of visual novel. So if something like this does interest you, of course I will put everything in the description below according to this game and the developer. If you want to try it for yourself and finish that whole demo. Or, you know, you can put it on your wish list. It is on Steam for it to be fully released on the 4th of April. So yeah, it looks really nice. I like the story, big words. The aesthetics and the music is really like nice, come together very nicely. So it does seem like a very in-depth, interesting story. I'll give it that, and I'm gonna put it on my wish list so I can, you know, play when it comes out. But of course, if you like this video, like, comment, subscribe, share, all that fun stuff. And yeah, I will catch y'all in the next video.